Today I'm running through 7 record accessories I never knew I needed until I got them, and now I can't live without them. It's a mouthful, but if you followed that, let's go. Before we get into this, I gotta say this list is completely subjective. Some of the stuff you are probably gonna disagree with. At points in this video, you may be rolling your eyes. I get it, we all have different opinions, totally cool. First thing on my list is a record weight, and I realize these are somewhat controversial in the record collecting community. There's a bunch of people who think these are snake oil and a complete waste of money, and there are people who see value in these. Initially, I was like, record weights, why would I need one of those? But over the years, I've really come to appreciate these, and there are several benefits I have found to using these. First of all, a record weight helps couple the record to the platter of your turntable. That creates a more solid playing surface, reducing vibrations. All that helps your needle track better, which is going to improve your listening experience. I'm not going to suggest that by using a record weight, there's going to be a day and night difference in the sound quality of what you're listening to. It's all really subtle stuff, but at least to me, it is there. The other thing this helps with is reducing or helping fix. I'm trying to choose my words carefully here. But if you have a record, it helps flatten it. And if that record is warped, it helps kind of mitigate the issues from that warp, right? Which could be like a needle skipping and that kind of stuff. I'm talking about thin records, right? 180 gram records, the value of record weights, at least in my experience, is reduced. But a thin record, a little bit of a warp, put this down, so you can couple it to the record platter. Record weights are also said to improve speed stability and therefore improve the wow and flutter and the performance of your turntable. I have not found that to be a thing with me, but I mostly listen to music on my Technics or Technics SL 1200 turntable, and that thing's got a rock solid speed, man, so I'm not sure if something like this would actually have any effect in terms of improving stability. But on some turntables, it may. Just a word of warning. Every time I talk about record weights, there are people who say that's bad for your motor, right? It's putting undue stress and pressure on your motor, particularly with belt drive turntables. I've used these on my Fluence and Project turntables, and I have had no issues. I'm not saying you won't, I can't speak for yourself. I have not had any issues. Maybe check with your turntable manufacturer to see what they have to say about the use of record weights. I know Fluence turntables sells record weights, and so does Project. So take that for what it is. Next on the list, what should we go for? Something super basic, super basic. This is a label protector. I think it came with a record cleaning kit I got from Groove Washer, but again, I'm not 100% sure. If you go on Amazon, they sell different versions of this. There are some more sophisticated ones. There are some lightweight, cheap ones like this. And it works really easily. Put your record on your turntable and you just put this over the label, right? The hole in there goes in the spindle. And this way, if you're spraying your record with a record cleaning spray, you're not getting any of that spray on your record label, which can damage it. Not always, but I think it's happened to many of us. It's happened to me, where you get a record cleaning solution on your label of your record and it starts to bubble, right? This helps prevent that. As I said, there are better ones than this, but for myself, I found this is all I need. I dig it. I love it. Didn't know I needed it. Now I can't live without it. Okay, I did a video a few weeks ago where I talked about 4 or 5 record accessories that I find to be essential. In that video, I talked about record brushes and whatnot, but there's another way to clean the surface of your records that I really like, and that's by using one of these record rollers. This one literally is called a record roller, but there are a ton of different brands. And the benefit to this is just a really quick and simple way of removing, surface dust, dirt from your playing surface. And these really do work. I've had this one for a while, and I think Vinyl Vac makes record roller. I could be wrong, but again, as I said, there are a ton of different brands. And when it gets dirty, when it gets gunked up, super easy, put it under the tap, clean it up, dry it off, and it's good to go again. It's a cheap investment. It's a cheap tool you can buy. It keeps your records clean, right? You don't always want to take out the brush and the fluid and all that stuff. Simple way, just rub it around the record and you're good to go.
Channel 33 RPM.
This next device I never knew I needed. Once I got it, I fell in love with it, and now I use it all the time and can't live without it. And that's my Humming Guru Ultrasonic record cleaner. And again, people are really split on the value of ultrasonic record cleaners when it comes to cleaning records, but for me, It's done really well. For the most part, longtime viewers of this channel will remember my challenges with the Humming Guru when I first got it. It worked for, I'm trying to remember, like a month or two, and then it just stopped working. So I had to reach out to Humming Guru, and they sent me a new printed circuit board with instructions on how to fix this thing myself. I'd like to think I'm pretty handy, but not necessarily with the electronics, but I was able to follow their instructions and I fixed the Humming Guru, and it's been working really well ever since. Pretty much any new record I get, I stick it in the Humming Guru and give it a quick clean. How does the Humming Guru do for like really dirty, gunked up records? In those cases, I do a manual clean on it first, wet a cloth, take out any of the major stuff, then I stick in the Humming Guru. I said I haven't had any issues. Am I going to say this is the best record cleaning machine ever invented? No, it is not, but it has served its purpose, and for me, at least for now, it's good. Maybe down the road, I'll invest in a better record cleaning machine, one of those vacuum machines or something, but for now I'm digging my ultrasonic cleaner. There are different kinds you can buy, so this is not testimonial necessarily to the Humming Guru, but the Humming Guru has been my experience and has been good to me so far, aside from those initial hiccups. Next up, I have a digital stylus force gauge. I found this to be a very, very valuable tool. This is essentially a mini scale. It works really simply. Put this on your turntable platter, bring your tone arm over, very carefully lower it with your stylus on this little bit, and I'll tell you how much, basically the weight of your tone arm, how much pressure it's exerting. And there are various, well, there's really one essential reason you would want to use this. Every cartridge you buy has a recommended tracking force. It's usually somewhere between 1.5 and 2 grams. It's in that little user manual you get with it, or you can look them up online. And typically, you would adjust your tracking force, your tracking weight, by turning that little knob on the end of your tone arm. There's numbers there, and that should get you in the ballpark. But this little device is a way of double checking or fine tuning the weight to make sure you get it exactly right for optimum performance, optimum sound quality, all that good kind of stuff. These aren't very expensive. They're typically under 10 bucks, and you can find them all over the place. Well worth it in my opinion. Okay, at this point in the video, we're gonna get to the part where there may be a lot of people thinking, Frank, you're out to lunch. What the hell are you recommending? And that is absolutely ridiculous. But I love these next two items, regardless of what anyone says. This little thing, if you can see it, this is called a record reamer, and these are handmade in Canada by this company called Stable 33.33. Again, this is not a sponsored video. These people have no clue I'm talking about their products, but this is something, when I heard about it, I thought, why would I need something like this? But now I love it and I use it all the time. And if I ever lose this one, I'm going to buy another one. So it's essentially this little tool. Let me show you. You know, nowadays particularly, it seems to be more common where you get a record and the hole in the center of the record is just a little too tight. A little too tight to go over the spindle on your turntable, right? And there are various DIY ways to increase the size of that turntable. Sorry, not the turntable, of the hole in the center of your record. But this one is guaranteed to get it right every time. And this record, this one is not too small, but I'll just show you. You stick in the center hole, give it a couple spins, turn the record over, do it again, a couple spins, and if that hole was too small, it's no longer going to be too small, and it's going to fit over your spindle hole perfectly. Now, the reason people might be wondering, might think I'm out to lunch, is the cost of this thing. It's $58 Canadian, which if I do a quick conversion for my US friends, that is about $43 US. So it's not cheap. It's not cheap. The funny thing with doing these videos is when I talk about super cheap products that are produced in China, people are like, that, despite the price, I would never buy that. Chinese junk, Chinese garbage. So yeah, I totally get that, man. But there's also the opposite. This is handmade in North America, handmade in Canada. So it's not cheap Chinese garbage, but it costs more, right? But the quality's there. I dig it. I love it. And the final thing I want to talk about today, and this is the definition of something I never knew I needed until I got it, and now I can't live without it. This is by the same company that makes the record reamer. This is called a transit platter. And what is this? This is essentially, it's heavy. It's actually really heavy duty. This is something you put beside your turntable, and you place your record temporarily on this thing. This has happened to me quite often where I pull a record off and for whatever reason I need to put it down temporarily, and I don't want to put it flat on my desk or another surface because it's going to get dirty or damaged or whatever, so I never had any good place to put it. And now I just put it on this little device. As I said, it's heavy duty, it works well, and I never knew I needed one of these, but now that I have it beside my turntable, I use it all the time. The thing is, these things are not cheap. Again, they're handmade in Canada, but they retail for $156 Canadian, which equals about $115 US. Just pulling up the website, what does it say here? It said, these unique vinyl transit platters are used to temporarily place your vinyl when handling disc change on your turntable or while cleaning them. So this company, Stable 33.33, is based in Quebec, Canada, and I believe the owner's first language is French. So some of the translation on the website is a little rough, a little bit off, but you get the gist. You get the gist of it. It says here the bottom is finished with 5mm quality felt to protect surfaces. It's made of stainless steel with real wood veneer, and it weighs 994 grams. I'll put on the screen the conversion. What is 994 grams? I'm not entirely sure. I think it's almost a pound, but I'm not sure. And these are handmade in Canada. So again, really useful device. I was skeptical, but it has been really useful. And anyone I talk to who has bought one of these has found these equally useful. So I think this company has really identified a need that many of us never knew we had and is sort of filling that void. So I do highly recommend it. Craftsmanship, it's really good, really rock solid. I dig the fact that it's made in Canada. Love this product. Use it all the time. Highly recommend it. All right, 33ers, that's my list. And what do you think? Do you own any of these? Do you have any products that would fall in the same category? Let me know in the comments. Thank you for watching. I'll be back again really soon. Until then, keep on spinning.